Hey friends, it is Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. I had an interesting exchange on Twitter today and I wanted to share it with you. This is kind of telling about a larger issue at play now, and yeah, I've got to make a few points on it. So here's this gentleman, Otis Frampton. I almost said his name wrong. He launched this campaign. He's on day 8. He's 22% funded. It's called Oddly Normal. And here's the campaign right here. 35 backers, 22 days left. Looks kind of like a cartoony style, but obviously well done. Looks like he obviously knows what he's doing. He's a good artist. So yeah, this book does look interesting, and I am going to put the link in the description below for you to check it out. Now, I had an exchange with Otis Frampton, and yeah, I'm going to show it to you a little bit. So he's promoting the book, and Danny Agent 87, hey Danny, I know he watches the show. He asked him if he'd be interested in being on Alternate or Sweetcast live stream to promote the book, and Otis said, if you're talking about alternate comics, then yeah, I'd love to go on with Peter Samedi if he'll have me. I could talk about my upcoming comic cover and my Indiegogo campaign. I don't know what Sweetcast is. Sorry. And so, okay, he comes back here on Sweetcast, right? Thanks for the links. No can do on the Sweetcast. Looks like that account has a political tinge, and I don't do that. I'll look into the other one, though. Thanks. Okay, so I was tagged into this, so I saw it. Now, imagine for a moment that, I don't know, like I was a different kind of channel. Or I was a professional comic creator. And my politics are very loud and proud, I guess. And you know, like we'll say I'm Mark Wade maybe, and the same similar thing happens, and somebody says, yeah, I don't really want to associate because he is political. Now, how would Mark Wade react to that, or how would the general public at large react to that? I don't know for sure. He'd probably ignore it. Might be offended. Again, it depends on who this fictional person is and how the fictional situation goes down. Now, to me, I saw this, and okay, some of you might think, well, that's too bad. Now he can't go on Sweetcast because of politics. Now, when I got into this, and I know I'm not the only one here, I know several of you have thought this through as well. When I got into this, I knew that if I went in to Comicsgate and I started talking about it and hitting on these controversial issues head on, I knew that I would never work for Marvel Comics. I would never work for DC Comics, and I would never be able to be published. This was my dream, to be published by Image Comics. I knew that would never happen. I've accepted that will never happen, and I'm happy with that. Now, for the most part, most people, when they want to promote their book, they don't really care. They just want to promote their book, and they might disavow me a week later. You know, that happens, not all that often, but it has happened, and that's fine. That's cool. But my choice to be political about this YouTube channel was part of the entire inception of the YouTube channel. So I expect this to happen. I've lost, business relationships. It's been only a little bit more difficult to find people to work with. I mentioned I had a couple letterers that turned me down because they didn't want to be associated with me because I'm outspoken. Now, I am perfectly acceptable for these kinds of consequences to come because I'm outspoken. I am using my freedom of speech, and this is a natural consequence of my freedom of speech. Now, what Otis Frampton didn't say is that I am a Nazi, that I'm evil, that, you could imagine the whole litany of other things that he could say, and that many people do say. He didn't. He said he didn't want to be associated with politics. So I said, sorry to hear that. Best of luck. He responded, thanks, nothing personal. I hope you understand. I just don't do politics on the interwebs. Now, how can I be upset with that? I cannot. It was my choice to be political in my conversation. And let's face it, that's why most of you come to my channel and you watch my videos, is because I'm picking a perspective and I have a point of view. I figured out something that works for me. Is it the best route? I don't know. I didn't have a lot going for me when it came to comics, breaking into comics before. So it actually served me well, being outspoken, and I'll continue to be in my way. I think I'm nice about it. Regardless, I cannot expect somebody else like you must associate with me because I have politics. So I did respond and I said, no worries, I can respect that. Now, most comic creators, I don't actually want them to be outspoken. But it's weird. I have typecast myself as an outspoken comics creator. I've typecast myself as a conservative. I'm moderately conservative. But just the fact that I talk about this kind of stuff, it automatically makes me just into this group. It's the same kind of group that your boy Zach is in with Comics Matter with your boy Zach. I know he deals with the same kind of stuff. He will forever be limited on what he can do in comics and writing and business and all sorts of things because he was outspoken. I'm going to say that probably served him well. It served me well. If I could go back in time, I would do exactly the same thing. Don't regret anything I've said. I think there's a space to be outspoken. Now, having said that, am I willing to allow somebody on the other side to be as outspoken as I am? Yes, I think so. I think if people that really disagreed with me wanted to start YouTube channels and start making comics and tell me why I'm wrong on regular videos, I think that would be actually a really good thing. As long as they're not calling for me to be fired, they're not telling other people not to work with me, they're not interfering in contracts, they're not doing all the other list of things that they could be doing, I'm totally fine with that. So in this case, this was actually a positive exchange. It seemed for a while like this kind of stuff wasn't going to happen anymore. Like it used to happen more before I launched Downcast, and now things have been a little bit better. I kind of forget that I do talk about politics. But yeah, it's something that I'm not ever going to be able to escape. And I'm okay with that. So to show a little bit of love here, Otis Frampton, he does not want to talk about politics. He's a comic creator. I'd say that's a pretty good thing. Generally speaking, that's what I want out of comic creators. So I'm going to be posting a link to his book, Oddly Normal, Book 4 by Otis Frampton. I'm going to post that in the description, and I would strongly suggest going to check it out if you want a comic book that is not political and the creator of this comic book wants to stay politically neutral, or at least politically silent on social media. This kind of stuff is exactly the thing that should be rewarded. And while you're at it, you might as well check out Downcast if you haven't yet. This is my book. The book, I will tell you, is not political whatsoever. It is just action and fun and intrigue. So check that out as well. The link is in the description below. Thank you very much. Let me know what you think about comic creators and politics, and where do you draw the line, and what do you like to hear from your creators? Let me know, and I will talk to you later.